Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I will be doing the Girl Scout cookie book tag. So my friend Reese over at the Writing Songbird tagged me to do this video, so you can go check out her channel as well. I don't think Girl Scouts is very popular in Quebec, at least to my knowledge, but we do have it. And I haven't heard of any of these cookies except I think the Thin Mints or whatever it's called, but it was still really fun to do this tag. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. The first cookie is Truffles, I think that's how it's called, a classic novel you love. So I recently have read The Lord of the Rings, so I definitely had to include this classic. So book 1, book 2, and book 3. So I recently read it like last year. I think I finished the series, really loved it. Definitely would recommend reading it or listening to it on audio. I'm sorry, but really enjoyed it. I really love this adventure story, and I thought it would be harder to read than it was. It wasn't. It didn't read hard for me. So I definitely would recommend giving that one a try. I also did want to include Little House on the Prairie. I really did love this series as well. Some books, I guess, were a little bit better than others, but overall, I really enjoyed this series. So the next cookie are Lemon Ups, a book you find inspiring. So I didn't have like a specific book that I wanted to talk about. I personally don't really find like fiction books all that inspiring. I mean, sometimes there is good faith content in them, but yeah, I wanted to choose a nonfiction book. And again, I couldn't choose just one. So I would definitely say anything by Max Lucado, This is Grace, and Traveling Light. I really love his books. And I would definitely say they are inspiring to me to lead a better Christian walk, and I really do enjoy reading them. The next cookie is S'mores, a comforting book. So for this one, I searched my bookshelf, and I think the most comforting book that has actually comforted me in the past would be 2 love-inspired books that kind of started me on reading like adult fiction. I did read them when I was quite young because they're clean, but definitely have reread them so many times over the years, and whenever I was just kind of in a reading slump, I would pick these up and really love them. So these 2 I've reread many, many times. They are Unforgettable Faith and A Mother's Love. These 2 just kind of stood out more so than other love-inspired books that I have. I don't know if it was just because these were kind of like the first 2 that I read in the love-inspired collection, but I don't know. These 2 stories really stick out, and they're very comforting to me, I guess because they kind of remind me of like my childhood a little bit, because I did read them when I was quite young, like I mean probably like 10. So yeah, they're comforting to me. Next up, we have Adventurefuls, an adventure book. So for this one, I chose The Lightning Thief. Really love this series, lots of adventure. I really recommend people giving this series a try, even if you don't like middle grade books. I think that this series is even really great for adults to read. I really enjoyed it. This is a series that is like Greek mythology. So the main character, Percy, he finds out that he's like half human, half gods, Greek gods. So he's like a demigod, and just his adventure. And I really, really loved this series. The 5th cookie is Samoas, a book that blends 2 or more genres. So for that one, I chose A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. I just really loved this book. I was trying to choose books that I gave like all of them 5 stars. So So I definitely love this one. I just read it recently. It is a little bit more of a definite adult book. I would not recommend it to teens, even like Christian teens. Maybe if you had like a secular teen, then it would be okay. But definitely for a Christian teen, I would not recommend it. But that being said, it does have quite a few genres. There is romance, it is historical, it is action-packed. There's a lot of faith content and talk of God. So definitely a lot of genres in this book. Really loved it and would definitely recommend this book as well. I mean, I recommend all these books that I'm talking about. So the next cookie is Do-Si Do's, either a book you love that everyone seems to hate or a book that you hate that everyone seems to love. So I don't have a book that I love that everyone seems to hate. So I chose a book that I hate that everyone seems to love. That is kind of a confusing question. But yeah, so a book that everybody seems to love that I don't really love. So I was gonna choose The Hobbit because yeah, everybody seems to love that book. I read it last year, really didn't find it interesting. I found it really boring at times. Was really expecting to love it because I love The Lord of the Rings and I had just finished that series and I wanted to read The Hobbit hoping that it would be amazing. Personally didn't love it, so that was unfortunate. I gave it 3 stars and I think in retrospect that was a little bit generous. I am still glad I read it, so that's my usual 3 stars. If I'm still glad that I read it, 3 stars. But Reese did choose that book as well. I saw this tag before I saw her video, so technically it was an original thought as well. But I also have a physical copy to show you. And I'm choosing 2 books that I feel are really popular that I don't really love and might be a little bit debatable. But Anne of Green Gables. So I love these editions, but sadly so far the series is pretty much a 3-star series for me. I really don't see the hype. I love middle grade books, so really I am kind of the target audience. I read a ton of middle grade books, so I tried this one and I really didn't love the series. I think I am at book 4 maybe, and I've only given 1 I think 4 or 5 stars. The rest I've given 3 stars. I don't know. It's just really not for me. I know that is unpopular, but an unpopular opinion. But yeah, those are just 2 books that are very popular that I didn't really love. But if you love them, that's great for you. And the last cookie is Thin Mints. One of your all-time favorite books. So this is the only cookie of the Girl Scout cookies I believe that I've tried and that I actually know about. Apparently in Quebec there are other cookies that you can buy, so I guess maybe some of these are in circulation, but these are the only ones that I've ever had people trying to sell, kids try and sell. Yeah, so my all-time favorite book, I would definitely say it's When Calls the Heart by Jeanette Oak. Definitely one of my favorites. Like, I mean, I have so many favorites, right? I love books, but definitely love this. I do really love my Mountie romance, so highly would recommend giving this a try if you love Mountie romances as well. Once again, I read this when I was quite young and it just kind of stuck with me over the years. I do think rereading them for some reason as an adult, I didn't enjoy, I think like, because it's a 4-part series, I don't think I enjoyed the other 3 books quite as much, but I definitely loved the first one very much. So that ends the book tag. Last question is to tag other booktubers. So I will be tagging Katie at Paperbacks and Ponytails, Tay at Tales and Treats with Tay, and Jane at Jane Reads. I don't think you guys have done this tag already. I believe I checked, so you shouldn't have done it already. Maybe you were tagged by somebody else. But yeah, if you want to do this tag, please do it. I would like to hear your answers. And yeah, thanks for watching. I really enjoyed doing this tag, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.